Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to talk to you about 5 things that I do to make my job as a nurse practitioner so much easier. So as you know, I've been a nurse practitioner for almost 5 years. I've worked at a number of different places, and these 5 things I was able to incorporate at all of the jobs that I've worked as a nurse practitioner to make my job easier. All right, so let's jump right into number 1. As someone who's been memorizing numbers, information, data over the course of many years now, I am at the point now where I feel like my brain is on maximum capacity. I can't memorize any more numbers. I don't even try anymore. There are certain numbers that I found myself referencing constantly every single day at work, such as my NPI number, my DEA number, my DOT National Registry number, and these are just 3 of them. And I told myself there's got to be an easier way. So personally, I have an iPhone, so I'm able to pull up the note section on my phone. My note is actually called Important NP Numbers, and I have a list of all the numbers that I'm constantly referencing all the time. So when I'm filling out a person's DOT certificate, I can go to the note section and search DOT, and that note will pop right up, and it just makes it so much easier. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, anatomy and physiology was a long time ago. As far as memorizing bones, muscles, and these sort of things, sometimes I do have to pull up a reference picture. It is what it is. So I created a reference folder on my computer. So what do I keep in this reference folder? It's pretty much pictures of the normal human anatomy. And it saves a lot of time saving these images in a folder on my computer, so I'm not pulling up my phone and Googling anatomy of the foot. I have everything right there as a reference, and I can quickly refer to those images. I use this as a reference, and it actually has really helped me out a lot because I don't have to type on my phone. I'm not Googling images. I'm just pulling it right up on my laptop, and I could pull it up, for instance, next to the x-ray image that I obtained in the office, and I can compare it to the normal x-ray. So it's actually really useful to do this, and I do advise that you do it, especially on the body parts that can be a little tricky and you haven't quite memorized the anatomy just yet. So I have this for multiple body parts. The image that I'd say I reference the most is probably the hand. I'm constantly having people coming into the urgent care with wrist injuries and hand injuries. So I'm constantly pulling up those images, and it's been really helpful for me. The next thing I do is really simple, but I'm telling you, it truly has made a difference for me. And that is keeping a notepad in front of me at work. At my job, I'm constantly interrupted, and I can get a little scatterbrained. So I find myself jotting down notes all the time. And what I was doing is I was jotting them down on scrap paper. And it's so easy for you to not even notice scrap paper. It's so easy for scrap paper to get tossed into the garbage. Sticky notes can get crinkled up and tossed into the garbage. So I'd be driving home from work and I'd think, oh shoot, I forgot to check that lab. Or, oh man, I meant to call that patient back. So I found that keeping a notepad in front of me sitting right on the desk makes it so easy for me to hurry up and jot down notes quickly. And I make sure I review it before I leave for the day so that I know for a fact I didn't forget anything today. I can leave. I'm not going to have some random thought pop into my head on my drive home or while I'm laying in bed. No, because I wrote everything down. I checked my pad before I left for the day, and I know I completed all of my tasks. So this has really been helpful for me. It's something so simple, but you don't see, it's all beat up, but you don't realize how much you use this thing until you actually get one and write it down. So I definitely would recommend just going to Dollar Tree, honestly, or Target and grabbing a few of these notepads, taking one with you to work, and really using this thing, jotting down notes, writing them down, and it'll be right in front of your face. You're not going to forget to just get those little tasks done for the day, and you can leave work carefree and knowing that you completed all of your tasks for the day. So I actually started this about almost 5 years ago when I first became a nurse practitioner, and that is creating a reference document for myself. I created a Google document of all of the diagnosis and treatment plans that I've ever done. And I use it as a reference for myself for future encounters. And the good thing about Google Documents is you can pull up the Google document no matter where you go. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, I left my laptop at home and I was sitting at work and I really wanted to reference this sheet. Easy peasy. I go to Google Docs, I sign in, and I have access to this document no matter where I go. And every time I see something new at work, I jot it down on my document. So let's say I saw a patient with psoriasis, and this is my first time seeing a patient with psoriasis, and I had to look up the treatment plan in one of my books. So after I'm finished seeing that patient, I type the treatment plan on my Google document. So now every time I see a patient with psoriasis, and let's say hypothetically speaking, I don't remember how to treat that patient, I can quickly go to my reference sheet, type psoriasis, and there's my treatment plan right there. This has saved me so much time at work. Having a reference sheet is definitely the way to go. I keep my resources on hand. I used to be the type who thought that if I keep my resources sitting in front of me on the desk, people are gonna look at me like, why is she looking at a book why is she looking at books? I used to think that it would make me appear to be one of those providers who didn't know what she was doing. And I had to let go of that thought process. Nobody memorizes every single antibiotic. Nobody memorizes all medication dosing. It's impossible, okay? So I had to kind of get over myself and get over that fear that I might look like a novice or, that I don't know what I'm doing, because it was wasting time. So what I would do is I would keep my resources in a side office. And every time I wanted to look something up, I would get up, go off to the side, check my reference, and then come back and sit down. I had to tell myself, Sarah, do you know how much time you're wasting by constantly getting up just to be discreet about looking at your resources? So I just let it go. I stopped caring. I keep my resources literally right in front of me at my desk. And if there's something that I need to look up, okay. The one thing that I will say that I still do is I'm not doing it in front of the patient. So I'll wait till the patient is in the room. I'll come out, check my medication dosing, make sure everything is accurate, send it over, and that's that. So I would say keeping your resources on hand just saves time, makes your life so much easier. Trust me, you don't look like an amateur. Everybody uses resources. It's just the nature of the game. So my tip would definitely be keep your resources close by so you can quickly reference them discreetly. That's something that definitely made my job so much easier. So these were my 5 tips on how to make your job so much easier. They've all worked for me. Thanks again for watching my video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.